What's going on, fellow vapors? It's Tori with H&T.
Hawk, coming back at you.
Gotcha.
You got me.
Yeah.
I was staring at my lock unlock.
So what do we have today? We're doing mini box mods today, correct?
Well, we're not doing mini box mods today. It's the actual review for the IPV Mini.
Oh, IPV Mini.
Yes, the mini box mod, the comparison contrast thing that we did for the full size.
Yeah.
We're gonna do that next week, I think.
Next week? Okay.
Yes. This one is actually we're doing a review for the IPV Mini.
Excellent. Excellent.
So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to go look at the IPV Mini, kind of get a up close look at it, see what's going on with it out of the box, and then we're going to come back up here and vape on it and talk about it and so on and so forth. So
sounds good.
Sound like a plan to you?
Yeah. And next week we're doing the comparison to
we're going to do the Mini, the
IPV Mini, and the Dopo 50 watt.
50 watt, and I think that we should include the e-grip in that.
No.
You don't think so?
No, they're
technically it's a Mini.
It is a Mini.
And it's a variable.
It's a variable, but the e-grip only goes up to 20 watts. So it's not, don't get me wrong, it's a good piece of equipment.
You see how he is?
But it's kind of like comparing apples to oranges.
No, it's really not, because it's a variable. We've got a variable at 20, a variable at 50, and a variable at 70, because this goes up to 70. Okay. So yeah, well, that's the same. We got the 100, the 150, and the 150.
We'll figure it out.
We'll see it. We'll look at it next week. Okay. And then we're going to talk about some research stuff. It's old news. It's not new, but for people that are just getting into vaping, you know, it's some resources that you can go and look at and see. We've got a couple of shout outs for some new subscribers.
Awesome.
And then I have a Q&A that I actually had that somebody wanted to answer.
We finally got a Q&A?
We actually have a Q&A. So that's what we're going to cover. So let's go get a look at the up close for the IPV Mini, and then we'll come back up and vape and talk about it.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
See you in a bit, guys.
See you in a minute. All right, everybody. So we're back at you again. Here we have the IPV Mini. Let's pull our little guts out over here. There we go. You have your instruction manual. This is what you should be doing. We have our warranty card. And then, of course, we have the device itself. Just dump that out real quick. There's the Mini. And then in the box, underneath everything is the USB charging card port that it comes with, cord that it comes with. So let's get this off of here real quick and get it out of the way. And then we'll go get a look at the actual device. So, for the Mini, you have a single 18650 that it takes. There's a cap at the base. It just unscrews. 18650 goes in here. You just snap the cap back on once you've got the 18650 in. I have noticed, oh, there, I'm doing it right now as a matter of fact. I have noticed that this cap can be a little finicky. If I can get it to line up just right, I'll screw it back on. There we go. Oh. Okay, so it's going to be one of those days. Yep, Hawk's going to have some hassle here. Okay, we're just going to leave the cap off for a minute because I'm going to mess with it. So this is the connector for the USB charging cable that it comes with. You have the front face, and I think I'm going to grab an 18650 real quick. This is your on-off button. Here is your up and down for your wattage control. We're just going to jam an 18650 up in there, positive to the top and negative on the bottom. And we're going to screw that in. I'm actually going to take it over here for a second so that I can get that to screw in.
There's a trick to that.
The cap has a little bit of a, let me screw that in real quick, a little bit of a finicky for the cap. Okay, 5 on, 5 off. This comes on. System on, and then that allows us to actually adjust the wattage up and down. Okay, now upside down, there we go. Let's try that for you. So the wattage actually has presets, okay, to where, and it runs up to 70. Okay, so it starts down at 7 watts, and then 15, 25, 50, and then 70. And then of course you can adjust those just by hitting the down for your wattage control, and then it'll roll down, and if you hold it, it just speeds up as it goes down. And so you can set it at whatever you want to set it at just by clicking the up and down. Now, if you want to use the the down button, when you wake it up, you'll be able to adjust it up and down. If you want to go through the presets, you just hit the top one and it'll roll through the presets for you. And then it remembers whatever you hit it at. You have your standard 510 connector up at the top, and I believe that is spring loaded. Let me turn it off before I stick something metal on it. 5 off, 5 on, and then we'll check the little 510 connector. It is spring loaded. You see I'm pushing on it right there. So a spring loaded 510 connector right there at the top. Has the cut-in air vents for the guys that have the bottom airflow tanks. This will run from a point, I believe it's 3 up to a positive ohm, and I don't remember what the top end of that is. Aluminum casing, powder coated black on this episode. Comes in the gray, the black, and I think another color, but I'm not positive about the other color. So basically, in a nutshell, that's the up close version of the IPV Mini. Okay, 70 watt. It's very convenient, and we'll take it back up to the up top and talk about it for a minute. So we'll see you back in the up top.
All right, guys, we're back. Please forgive our lack of enthusiasm, as we're not firing on all cylinders today.
It's a weight day.
Cup number 6.
So, the IPV Mini, 70 watt box mod. We did not look in the up and close. It has the same function where you press the up and down for the lock in, lock out, okay? Lock in. For the lockout, and then to unlock it.
Once again, we're not on all cylinders.
So let's talk about it. The IPV Mini, I like it. It's a 70 watt, which means I can run my Claptons on it because I'm really digging my Clapton coils right now. And I've noticed that for me, and it's subjective, again, all things in vaping are subjective, and this is only our opinion. It has no bearing in reality whatsoever. So for me, I find that when I'm running my Claptons, I really need to be up around about 60, 62, 63 watts. It has enough power to do that. It pumps it out really good. I don't have any problem with it. I get good vapor production, and I've been enjoying it. A couple of things that I don't like about it are the cap, because it's a little finicky. But when you get the battery in and get the cap screwed on, you can always just use the charging port to charge the battery inside the unit.
Yes.
So you don't ever have to take it back out.
Those charge at 18650 with the USB cord. It's not pass through though, I don't believe.
I don't believe it is.
Yeah.
Could be wrong. We could be wrong.
I don't believe it is. I don't believe that it is pass through. It's a good piece of equipment. It's a solid piece of equipment.
I've been digging it.
For me personally, it's not for me personally. The finish is a little too, it's got the powder coat on it, and for those of you that are familiar with powder coat can have a very slick feeling.
Yeah.
For me, it's a little too slick. And the cap, it can be finicky, but that's easy. If it gets a little finicky, the trick to that is just rotate it counterclockwise until it seats, and then you're good to go, because it is fine thread. Fine thread, stuff that's fine threaded can cross thread quite easily, so you just have to be careful about that. But honestly, that's my chief, I won't say complaint, but my chief dislike is the powder coat finish. It feels a little slick, and that's really the only thing that I'm not wild about.
You know what I like about it over the Mini 50, the Dodpa Mini 50?
Doesn't fall asleep.
Atomizer, well, not only doesn't it fall asleep, the atomizer sits flush.
Well, it's pretty low.
Yeah, no matter what atomizer you screw on top of it, I haven't had any atomizer yet that I've screwed on the top of it that hadn't set flush. And that was one of my complaints with the Mini 50 from Dodpa, was the little gap,
Correct.
So I like that, and I like that it doesn't fall asleep.
But like I said, The only negative I have about it, if you want to call it a negative, and it's just a personal feeling opinion, is the finish. The powder coat finish feels a little slick to me. That's it, to be honest with you. And the cap, you just have to pay attention.
I don't have a problem with it. I like it. This is not the one I've been dragging around. I spared everybody the battle damage one. This one is not the one that I've been dragging around. Hence, it doesn't have any battle damage on it. The other one I dragged it around for weeks, and I enjoyed it. I had a really good time with it. It does get a little warm in the hand if you drag it around all day and you're vaping on it a lot, you know, especially if you're running the really low ohm coils on it. This is a 0.3 ohm that I've got on here, and it just, I don't know, it really, it just really is run well. I haven't had any problems. One of the things I like about it is the fact that the display will light up and stay lit up. Okay, so see how it just went dim? If you just touch the bottom of the fire button, it lights right back up, and it'll stay lit. So you can see, you know, you're like, oh, well, what am I looking at? And so it doesn't just dim out immediately like some of the other Fox mods. It'll stay up there for a couple of minutes, and actually you can fiddle with it and see, you know, everything nice and crisp. So there's been a couple of really good things that I've enjoyed about it. So all in all, as far as the IPV Mini goes, review-wise, I think it's a good piece of equipment. It does exactly what it's supposed to do, and as far as a regulated device goes, you know, it's a good device.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, the only thing that's not to my liking is the powder coat finish. It feels a little slick. I don't know, I keep saying that, but honestly, that's the only thing that I'm not wild about.
Yeah.
I won't say that I dislike it, but I'm not wild about it, and that's it. Other than that, that's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, we're short, sweet, to the point. So
IPV Mini, 70 watt, good piece of equipment.
it works.
So for our guys that came for the review, that's it. It's over. And because it is vlog day, that makes it smack talking time.
Oh yay!
And shout outs. So first, let's deal with shout outs because I got a couple of shout outs for our new guys.
Do you remember names this time?
I didn't actually remember names, but what I did was I did not delete the email. So let us start with the email portion of the program. Let's get rid of that, and then we'll go right here. Linda. So Linda, welcome aboard. Glad to blah blah blah. It's a new tongue. I'm working the bumps off. Glad to see that you subscribed. Hope you find what you're looking for here. She is our newest subscriber, and I went back and I checked, and I was correct. It was Sam. Welcome aboard, Sam. I had to go back and dig through the email to find it, but I did find it. So welcome aboard, Sam. We're going to give a shout out to Skylar and Adrian because I got his name right.
Oh, finally!
So yes. It only took me, you know, a bajillion times to try to get it.
Shout out, Graham. Thanks for jumping on board. We appreciate it. Welcome aboard. Hope you enjoy the ride.
Hope you find what you're looking for. Yep. Remember, you can always leave us comments if you want to see something, you want to talk about something, or you just got a question or whatever. You can shoot us a question over at the Q&A section, which we do have, so we're going to talk about that. And then if you want to just, you know, babble about something else, you can, you know, leave us a comment down below, and we'll be happy to get back with you and talk about it and answer up any questions we can possibly answer.
Yep.
So that is our shout-out section.
That's our shout-out. We actually have a Q&A today.
We do. We have a Q&A today.
First one. Excellent.
Well, it's not actually our first one. It's just the first one that somebody actually emailed.
It's our first one. It's our first one.
Somebody actually emailed in a Q&A. So we had a question about the difference between VG and PG, okay, and what the mix should be to run in a tank, okay? So VG and PG, real quick answer, vegetable glycerin polyglycol, okay?
Vegetable glycerin, for those of you that don't know, is the thicker viscous fluid that is used that provides the visible vapor that you see.
PG is where you get your throat hit from, plus nicotine.
PG is propylene glycol, is the scientific name for it. vaping community calls it PG. It is used in nebulizers, inhalers,
A whole myriad of things.
pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
It is actually used in IV fluid to help the body absorb medicine.
I did not know that.
Yes, it is.
I did not know that.
A
I've
lot
just learned something new.
A lot of people don't know that. And the funny thing is get off tangent here for just a second, but a side effect of PG, it is a desiccant. It attracts water, it absorbs water. So the side effect from vaping PG is it dries your mouth out a little bit or gives you a dry feeling. So you drink more water. That's not bad at all. Everybody needs to drink more water anyway. As you can tell, I'm on my 7th cup of coffee right now.
I don't think that actually counts.
No,
I'm just
no. That's just a coffee.
Yeah, I don't think an extra cup of coffee counts.
Coffee is just because I'm trying to wake up. To be honest with you, he came banging on my door. He doesn't understand the phrase or the concept of sleeping in on your day off.
I did. I slept in till 6.
Yeah, well, that's an art discussion for another place and time. Anyway, to go back to it, you have your basic 50-50 PG VG, then you have your 60 VG, 40 PG, 70 VG, 30 PG, 80-20, and then you have your max VG for the cloud check for the guys who are really chasing clouds. The answer to your question is it depends on what tank you're running, to be quite honest with you. If you're running something like the Kangaroo Pro Tank 3, you're going to want to stick to 50-50, 60-40. I wouldn't go higher than 60-40. It has a hard time with those small wicks, small coils. It has a hard time wicking the fluid to the coil and not fast enough and not getting a dry hit or toasting your coil and getting that nasty poo-poo taste in your mouth. Now, a tank like a Kangaroo sub tank or the Arctic Horizon or the Heracles, which is going to be coming up here within the next couple videos, that they can run on almost max VG. In fact, the Arctic can run on max VG, but that's because the coil is built like that. And the coils have really big openings for the wick. They wick really well. Now, if you're running with an RTA, a rebuildable tank atomizer, which he and I don't like, such as the K-Fun or the Orchid, they're super, super finicky on how you wick it, and they don't like the thicker juices just because the channels are so small. Those I recommend 50-50, no higher than a 60-40 on those. So, in essence, to answer your question, on the tank, it depends on, short and sweet, it really depends on which tank you're running on. If you're running on something like a Kangaroo Pro tank, you're going to need to stick with 50-50. If you're running on the newer tanks, like the Kangaroo sub tank, the Atlantis, or the Heracles or the Arctic Horizon, or any of the sub-ohm tanks, you're good up to 70-30. I've had no problems running 70-30.
So the short of it is, again, it's subjective. It depends on you, but smaller coils, thinner juice. Okay, larger the coil, obviously the thicker the juice can be. So
exactly. That's the easiest way to explain it.
Yeah.
The smaller the coil, thinner the juice. Bigger the coil, you can run the thicker juice because the wicking, the size of the wick is larger and it can move more fluid easily.
There you go.
That's pretty much it. And for those of you that don't know, since we're talking about juice, your PG is what the flavoring is. PG is the carrier for the flavor.
That's what it's suspended in.
Yep, that's what it's
Same
suspended
as the nicotine.
Same as the nicotine. Okay, so if you're vaping juice that is 100% VG and it has flavor in it, it's not 100% VG. It's a max VG.
Which is why they say max VG now instead of 100% VG, because it's never 100% VG, because you still have the flavor suspended in the PG. That's just the way it is.
The PG is what provides some of the throat hit and irritation to simulate smoking. Nicotine adds to that. Some people say it adds a spice to it.
I've heard that.
Some people say it kind of adds a spice to it and changes the flavor profile just a little bit, but and then others say that it provides a scratchy feeling in the throat to simulate the throat hit that you would get from traditional cigarettes. So that's one great thing I like about vaping is you can fine tune everything to exactly how you want it instead of being stuck with a box of cigarettes and that's how it is and the only option you have is to chop the filter off.
Yeah, pretty much. So that's what we've got for our Q&A section. So hey, thanks for the questions.
Good question, appreciate it. Thank you. Hopefully we answered your question.
If we didn't, email us again.
Let us know. So remember, the thinner the smaller diameter of the wick and coil, the thinner the juice, and that's pretty much the easiest way to say it. The thinner the juice.
Yep. That's how it works. So there we go. Which brings us back to things that I want to talk about. So there's been some studies, and a lot of them are not new. A lot of them are a year and a half old. Some of them are a little more recent. I know that this year, 2015, is just barely kind of getting rolling. We're off in May now. Is that right? Am I right? May? We're in May. We're in May now. And so we're only 5 months into the year, and so looking for, the latest 2015 research, you're going to kind of be scrambling a little bit. But there are some new stuff out there. And in particular, I'd like to talk about the article that was published from BMC.
Back June 24th, 2014. Yes, it's an older research, but it's still applicable today. It's very applicable.
And if you're looking for things when you're trying to educate yourself, Dr. say his name. Hold on, he's going to say his name.
Yeah, Dr. Farsalinos. I really like this guy. He has his own website, which will be posted in the link and on our Facebook. The thing I like about him is he is 100% neutral. He has no take in what's going on in the industry right now.
That we're aware of. We should qualify that.
No,
I know, but we should always qualify with that.
He plainly states on his website that he has no take. He gets no financial consideration from any entity with the electronic cigarette industry, big tobacco, or pharmaceutical. He's
just doing research as far as we're aware. He's just doing research.
He's just doing research.
So if you find out something different, okay, don't say, hey, Hawkins what he said, because as far as we're aware, okay, this guy is an independent guy. So he did some studies, and one of them was the effect of vaping versus the effects of smoking on basically the
let me pull it up.
Lungs, pulmonary system.
Yes. I just had it. Hold on. Let me pull it up.
We're so together this morning.
Yes, we're super together. Okay, this is straight from his website.
And I think there's a summary of it. I think there's like a little.
There is a summary, and where did it go? Page 2. There we go. Let's try that. Let's go to page 2 for a second. Okay. No, it's not there. Okay. Well, it's over here. It's linked off of another site that we found. Well, actually, this isn't the same one, but this is by from BMC, which is I can't remember what it stands for. It's one of those medical journals, which is by Dr. Siegel. Yes, Dr. Siegel is a professor of the Department of Community Health Sciences at Boston University School of Public Health. This guy pretty much knows what he's talking about. He was one of the key witnesses with that super expensive lawsuit that the government brought against the big tobacco companies.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Very good.
It ended up costing $145 billion verdict against the big tobacco industry several years ago. So I would say he kind of knows what's going on for the most part. Anyway.
The short of it is they did some studies, and they were looking at the heart function for people that were smoking versus people that were vaping, and people that were vaping nicotine and non-nicotine. Okay, so as you'd expect, and exactly what they expected to find when it came to smoking is what they found. That does have a negative impact on heart function. And then when they tested electronic cigarettes with and without nicotine, they found that it does not have that negative effect that smoking has. And so the end result is that they came up with the fact that vaping was, as far as a harm reduction method goes, a better choice than smoking, because you're not putting all those chemicals and stuff and tars and whatnot into your body, and of course it's not affecting your heart in the same manner. So yet again, for our guys that are haters, this is for my haters now, because I know you guys are there. For my haters, you can go and look this up and see, yet again, vaping is a form of harm reduction. We've always had the discussion, and it's an ongoing discussion about, should we be doing this around other people? Is it something negative for other people? Okay, and to the best of our knowledge, right now, as far as we can determine, there is no negative side effect for secondhand vapor. Okay?
Right. In fact, there was a study brought out, and we talked about this a couple videos ago. There was a study in which on the effects of secondhand vapor. The conclusion of the study was breathing secondhand vapor is no worse than breathing regular air.
Yeah, because the particulates are almost identical. So
there you go. Now on this study, real quick, just read it straight off the website. In this study, investigators examined measures of acute heart function using echocardiography, (EKG), among 36 smokers and 40 vapors before and after either a cigarette or an e-cigarette. The researchers found cigarette smoking adversely affected acute heart function. Bad. Electronic cigarette use had no effect on any of the measures examined. The summary of the results: this is the first study to examine the acute effects of electronic cigarette use on myocardial function, myocardial being heart. No adverse effects on LV, the left ventricle myocardial function, were observed after using an electronic cigarette with nicotine-containing fluid for 7 minutes. On the contrary, significant changes in diastolic function parameters, blood pressure, were found after smoking one tobacco cigarette. The authors concluded this study provides the first clinical evidence that electronic cigarettes have less acute adverse effects on myocardial function when compared to tobacco cigarettes. So, there you go.
Which at the end of the day,
that's more proof that it is a harm reduction. We're not going to say it's safe,
no,
but it's definitely less risky than big tobacco.
Yeah, we are not. Yeah, we are not Kool-Aid drinkers. We're not going to sit here and say this is safe. If you want to be safe, breathe air. That's what your lungs are designed to breathe.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
We who are not doctors and we don't play them on TV, okay, consider this to be a harm reduction method for ourselves.
Yep.
Okay. What you decide is on you. You have to make those decisions. Okay. But based on the research that we're looking at, that's coming down line, that's been coming down line, we consider our stance to be well-founded. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And until somebody produces real scientific evidence that shows that it's not, we're going to keep vaping because that's the way that it is.
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah, that's the way it is. Like I said, we're going to post a link to Dr. Parcelino's website down below, so you can read the research yourself. And I'll be posting it on Facebook. It's a good read. Now, keep in mind, you're going to be reading the actual medical
Jargon.
Yeah. So, but he kind of
it's fairly straightforward.
I won't say that he dumbs it down, but he puts it out in a fashion that's easily understandable for those of you that are not familiar with all the medical jargon. So, for those of you that don't have 32 degrees, you'll be able to understand.
So, that takes care of our research section, I guess.
Sure.
I don't even know what to call that section.
Mm-hmm.
We are trying to be more consistent so that we are having our videos up every 2 weeks like we're supposed to. Okay.
Yes.
So as we go through this, we actually wind up with a lot of leftover product because once we do a review on it, a lot of times it winds up going to the shelf.
Yes.
And so I'm going to shock my partner now because he doesn't know I'm going to do this.
I know what he's going to do.
Do you know what I'm going to do?
Yeah.
What am I going to do?
You're going to do a giveaway.
I am. I'm going to do a giveaway. So here's what we're going to do. We are trying to get the word out. We are trying to expose people to this information. So if you are watching this video, okay, you're already, doing your part to help get this out. So I'm going to say, get with your buddies, share these links, okay, and get this stuff out because when we get to 100, okay, we're going to give away some product. And guess what I'm going to give away?
I'm guessing you're going to give away the Vaping Mini 50.
I am. I certainly am.
Am I good or what?
It's because we're twins. So we actually are going to give away the Vaping Mini 50. It's a great piece of equipment. We did a review on it. I really enjoyed it. I didn't like the little gap at the top, but that's subjective. It had nothing to do with the function of it. This is an excellent piece of equipment. So when we get to 100 subscribers, we are going to randomly select, using one of those little random selector thingies,
Yes.
somebody to give this away to. So get with your buddies. Pass this video around. Tell them to subscribe to the channel because we're trying to get this giveaway going on, okay? And for those of you that have watched the videos, you might want to go back and look because the other giveaway is still going on. And if you don't know about the other giveaway, it's because you didn't watch all of the videos.
That is correct.
An early video, watch the entire thing and you'll see what I'm talking about.
One of our very first videos.
That one is still going on, okay? So 100, when we get there.
Which is good, but bad at the same time. It's good that it's still out there, but the word's not getting out. We're trying to get the word out. So that's 2 giveaways we've got going. So
get the word out. That's all you got to do.
Two giveaways.
Tell people, subscribe, get out there, get it out, like the videos.
2 giveaways. So let's get it out there, guys. Anything else?
That's all I got.
That's all you got?
That's all I got. I'm sitting here vaping now.
Where is it? Oh, vape this one good.
Yeah.
It's seriously not awake today.
It's coffee and vape time, bro.
Dude, I'm seriously not awake.
I woke him up at the ass crack of dawn this morning.
You're an ass.
Everybody's got to have a hobby.
That's kind of like to call him at 2 o'clock in the morning and say, "What you doing?" Click. Because we got love like that for each other. Yeah.
It's because it's like that.
That's brotherly love.
That's how it rolls.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly how it rolls. Oh, Lord.
I got nothing else.
No, neither do I.
All right. Peace on, you guys. This is Hawk.
This is Tori with H&T Vaping.
See you next time.
Keep vaping, guys. Vape it if you got it.